Wax's podcast, talking mad shit about uninteresting facts. Wax's podcast, listen to it every Wednesday.
Thanks, John Legend. I appreciate you stopping by the studio, man. No problem. That was John Legend, y'all, helping me with the intro there. Actually, that wasn't John Legend. That was the guy that John Legend bit his style from, James Myth, actually. Thanks, Mr. Myth. This is Welcome to Wax's podcast, episode 7. Like I say every week, you thought I wasn't going to be back, but I'm fucking back. 6, 7, next week's going to be 8. I don't know why I'm hitting the chair I'm sitting on as I say this. You know, people do that when they really need to emphasize their point. It's kind of like the way the politicians put out their thumb with the fist, you know. But if you have an angrier point to make or a more forceful point to make, you might hit the armrest of the chair that you're sitting on. If your chair has an armrest, if you're one of the privileged Mitt Romney few like me, who can afford a chair that has an armrest, then you might hit on it like that when you wanna say some shit that you fucking mean. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I don't know, I'm feeling a little crazy this morning. But good week. It's a good week. I hope you guys out there are doing well. I'm doing really well myself. Just a lot of good stuff happening. I'm really excited about this song that I was working on last night. My boy Davey came over, and this song that I've been working on, you know, Davey's a keyboard player, piano player, producer, songwriter, and me and him started busting out this song and really putting on the bells and whistles, as they say. And I'm really happy with the finished product. Every once in a while I get really happy about a song I made. Not that often, you know. It's hard for me to get excited about my own shit sometimes. I don't always get excited about my own shit, but I know when I like something because I listen to it like fucking 15 times in a row. Probably more than 15 actually. But I'm really excited about it. The song is called Continue, which is actually the name of my album, which is coming out. I think that I've decided that the release date of my album is going to be 12/12/12. I just thought that sounded cool. I actually initially thought that was the fucking date that like the Mayan calendar predicted the apocalypse. You know, the whole 2012 thing. But I've come to find out it's actually 12/21/12. That's the apocalypse date. But for me, I thought that was a little close to Christmas to drop the album. So the album's going to be 12/12/12. Name of the album is Continue. The title track is Continue. And the shit is fire to me. I don't know. I really like it. I'm really happy with it. I clear my throat a lot in this shit. Somebody told me that. They're like, stop burping and clearing your throat and going like this, like that. But I'm not going to go back and edit out those parts. That'd just be too much time. I just don't, you know, there's certain things that I'm just, you know, there's certain kinds of laziness that you're just going to have to accept from me if you want to listen to this. So, lick my balls and tongue my scrotum. I guess that's the same thing. You can't actually get inside the scrotum to lick my balls, so you would have to tongue the scrotum and lick the ball. And like, you're not going to actually cut open my scrotum and take the balls out to lick them. What the fuck am I talking about? What else happened this week? Oh, you know, another good thing that happened, another interesting thing that happened. My music video for Rosanna, that some of you may have seen, it has gotten a couple spins on MTV2, MTV Latin America, MTV Trace, and MTV Jams. Excuse me while I sip this coffee real quick. You probably don't like that either, a little sip and a little noise afterwards. But you know what? I'll drink my fucking coffee when I want to. So, you know, you're going to have to accept the sound effects that go along with me making my own decisions. No, but got an email forwarded from my manager yesterday that both MTV2 and MTV Jams are not only playing the video now, they actually added the video to their playlist. So it's actually in rotation. So what that means is for example, on MTV Jams, the past 2 weeks, they were playing that video probably once every 3 days. Now they're going to be playing it about 4 times every day. So I don't really know exactly what that means, but I know it's good. And you know, ever since I was a little kid, I'd always wanted to have my video on MTV. Unfortunately, I don't have cable, and I'll probably never actually see it. I might see somebody tweet me a screenshot of them watching it, but it's highly unlikely that I'll ever actually watch myself on MTV. But that is cool. Not on MTV. not on MTV, on MTV2 and MTV Jams. Because MTV is just, you remember like, not even that long ago, MTV2 was like indie or something. Like, it was just like, you know, it wasn't as cool to be on MTV2. If you got your video on there, like, you're doing all right. MTV Jams was more of an urban thing. That's why it's called MTV Jams. It was like, when it was out, it was like an old school, like they might show like an old TLC video, then they show like a Usher's first video, you know, a lot of R&B, older hip hop, but now I guess they play everything. And the reason for that is because MTV, for years and years and years, hasn't played music videos. And I just started thinking about that. I was like, damn, I'm not actually going to be on regular MTV. And when they send the email, there's not even a playlist for regular MTV. So I was just wondering what MTV, let me move this microphone so I can see my computer. I was wondering what MTV is actually playing these days. So I went to I Googled MTV program guide, and the first link that comes up is what they have on TV today. So let me start at 9 a.m. Well, at 7 a.m., from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., it looks like they actually play music videos. So while you're up getting your coffee and getting on your way to work, you can watch the new Lupe Fiasco video or whatever they're playing right now. 9 a.m. When I was 17, I'm assuming that's something stupid. 9:30 a.m. Jersey Shore. 10:30 a.m. Jersey Shore. 11:30 a.m. Jersey Shore. 12:30 a.m. Jersey Shore. 1:30 p.m. Shore Day Jersey. 2:30 p.m. Shore of, it's Jersey Shore until fucking 7:30. So that, you know, it happens to be a day where they have a Jersey Shore marathon. I've actually never fucking seen that show, but I've heard about it, and it seems pretty crazy and all that. So it gets to 7:30, and then you get to Teen Mom. 9 o'clock, The Challenge, Battle of the Seasons. I'm assuming that's some kind of thing with like Road Rules, Real World, Making the Band. Puff Daddy in Little Chinatown with, I don't know, Little China. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But one of those shows, The Surreal Life, that's a VH1. Anyway, that's 9, 10, and 11, The Challenge, Battle of the Seasons. You can picture what that is. They go to some beach location and they all have to fucking climb a rope or they fall in mud, and then they revisit the drama they had when they all used to live in a house together in New Orleans, and then somebody fucking ripped somebody's bathing suit off on accident when they were drunk, and it was a really big deal, and then they called somebody's family, and the ex-boyfriend came to the house, but she was cheating. You see what I'm saying? Dumb drama shows. 12 a.m. midnight comes on. Teen Mom again. 1:30 a.m. True Life, another reality show. 2:30 a.m. That 70s Show. That's random. And sure enough, from 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and 5 a.m., right back to Jersey Shore. One of the episodes being Free Vinny, by the way. I wonder if that's Joe Pesci's character and My Cousin Vinny. Highly unlikely. Probably some dude. I think there's a guy named Vinny in Jersey Shore. I really don't know anything about Jersey Shore. It's amazing how famous those people are. Like whenever, you know, I think some comedian had a joke. I think it was Dave Chappelle had a joke about this with Michael Jackson. But I swear to God, I really believe that every time there's something serious going on in the world, every time there's an attack in the Middle East or a major shooting or something like that, who's on Yahoo front page news but fucking Snooki? It's always like that. They're trying to hide something. I don't know what it is, but Snooki is like the scapegoat for something's going on in the world. What gender baby is she having? If any of you guys know what I mean. Yeah. Dude, I'm going crazy. But yeah, so that's MTV for you. I'm getting play on that bitch. So check out your MTV Jams every once in a while. If you're around the house cleaning your house and you just want to listen to some music, check out MTV Jams. You might see me on there. And hopefully, ultimately, maybe I'll have the same luck and get back on MTV with the video that I just shot this past weekend. Man, we shot a crazy ass video this past weekend. It's not going to be out for a while because I want to put this video out not that much earlier than, that was poorly worded. I want to put this out like right before the album comes out. So if the album comes out on 12/12, I want to put this video out like December 1st or something. But it's just my friend Melissa, a.k.a. Rosanna, came down this weekend, and Saturday and Sunday we shot this video. And it's just really cool. It's just really cool, man. So like we both play different characters, and they're just like, there's dance sequences, there's fucking comedy, there's real acting in some parts. It's just a really crazy video, man. So I'm really excited about it. And song's cool, video's cool, all that. It was cool to see Melissa, man. She's a cool chick, interesting character. Besides the fact that she's cool and interesting and super hot herself, I wanted to relay a story that she told me. And this really kind of goes away from like the whole awesomeness of my week thing that I was going off on, because I know this week's been great. But I'm going to get to something just like a little weird and depressing, just because I wrote it down here. I wanted to talk about it just because I was affected by this. I actually kind of had a nightmare about it after she told me the story. So anyway, God, I do clear my throat a lot. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this, because I wasn't familiar with this. The reason I wasn't familiar with this is probably the same reason I'm not familiar with anything that's going on in the world, because I don't pay attention. I just sit here in my own little bubble, and I don't have cable, I don't look at the news, I don't do anything. Although I probably will watch the debate tonight somewhere. I'm actually interested to see that. But this has nothing to do with the debate. But it is debatable. That's fucking stupid. God. This is turning out to be a really stupid podcast. So she tells me this story. I'd never heard of this. There's a pill you can take. It's actually a series of pills. I did a very, very, very small, like when I say very small, I mean about 15 seconds worth of research just to see if this was true. I know Melissa wouldn't lie to me, but I don't know, maybe she had a dream about this or something, and then she woke up thinking it was real, but it is real, and it's about the abortion pill. I had never heard of this before. I didn't know you could do this. I have heard of the morning after pill, and I've heard of the birth control pill, and I've heard of the abortion, but what happens is, you get pregnant, you find out you're pregnant, and I think this can only happen, probably for the first trimester or whatever, the first 3 months of your pregnancy. But they give you some pills. I think, for example, they might give you 5 pills, and 5 days in a row you have to take this pill, and the pill gives you an abortion. And she told me a story about her friend. For some reason, we were just talking about abortion, but she told me a story about her friend that took this abortion pill. So she took the shit, and she's sitting on the toilet, just in her house, and she just, I guess, periods out everything, and she looks into the toilet, and, you see this little tiny thing that, like, it has limbs and a head, and it's like this little tiny thing, and it just plops right down into the toilet. And I don't know why I'm telling the story, but I guess it's just because just visualizing that, to me, really affected me. I think that I got to imagine that for that girl that must have really affected her. I don't know. This little tiny, it just seems so inhumane. Like, I mean, abortion is kind of inhumane in itself, but to just kind of be able to do it like that just seems really weird to me. I don't know. I don't have anything deep to say about that story. I could tell jokes about it, but some of you would hate if I did. I was just wondering if you get you take it out the toilet and cremate it and put it in a little tiny urn. Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, but I just think that's weird and terrible, and it really, really affected me. And I actually had I don't have nightmares very often, but I had a nightmare about it. So I don't know. You can just take a pill and that happens. I mean, it just seems like they wouldn't allow that. And how do you know that that's going to happen when you're on the toilet? Can you feel it about to happen? Like, is there perfect instructions on exactly what day and time and hour you should be ready for it to come out the toilet? What if it comes out while you're at work or something? What if, like, I don't want to joke about it, but, like, what if you're at the gym, you're on the treadmill, and it pops out on into your little yoga pants? It's not even funny. It's just disturbing, man. Speaking of disturbing, I do clear my throat a lot. Let me clear my throat. Oh! Have mercy, babe. Ha! I hope you don't mind. Little DJ Cool for you this morning. This morning I'm feeling just kind of crazy, man. I'm feeling like I really don't give a shit, man. I'm feeling just, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was really excited. I was drinking a bit. And I went to bed at like 5 a.m. last night. It's like, oh damn, it's already noon now. But I woke up at like 9 or something. And I just feel a little bit like, I feel a little bit crazy. I feel like I don't really give a shit about anything. Not in a bad way. I just don't, I just don't really give a shit. Speaking of disgusting, last night I told you that Davey came over. My homie, my good friend Davey Nathan came over. And every time he comes over, we do two things. We work on music, and then we just talk about shit. That's really specific, talk about shit. But no, we usually talk about like stuff we've discovered recently, and that usually means YouTube videos we've watched recently. And he explained to me, as happens with many people, when you watch YouTube, you get sucked into like a portal. Like for me, there's certain things I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in skateboarding. Like if my brother forwards me a video of like some young skater dude that's doing crazy shit, I'll sit there and watch. I'll sit there and get sucked into that shit for an hour. Battle rapping, I'll get sucked into battles for an hour. And last night, apparently Davey at his humble abode got sucked into these YouTube videos about this guy GG Allin. Now I had heard the name GG Allin before, but I didn't know anything about it. So if you guys are bored today and just want to see something interesting, to YouTube search GG Allin, GG space ALLIN, bite it you scum. There's a video and it's got 700-some thousand views. That's the one with 700,000 views. Just watch that. Watch the whole thing. This dude really, he was like in the 80s and the early 90s. He was a punk rock dude, and his music is kind of terrible. Like his music's pretty bad, but like I mean, we watched a bunch of stuff with this dude last night. He basically doesn't give a flying shit. Just watch the video. I'm not even gonna mention it further. GG Allin, bite it you scum. It's 713 views. The thumbnail is like he's like on his like, you can see his back, like his shirtless back on stage, like kind of leaning over. That's the video you want to click on and watch the whole thing. And if you watch that, like that's how he did every show. And if you watch a couple interviews, like it's next level rock and roll, not giving a fuckness. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's really interesting. And if you might get sucked into a YouTube portal, kind of like I did last night after Davey fucking forced me into it. So thanks a lot, Davey. I had bad dreams about that last night too. I don't know if, well, you probably can't hear it now because there's fucking trucks and motorcycles around. Hold on, let me see if we can hear it. Be silent for a second. There it is. Hear that leaky faucet? I woke up this morning. I have a leaky faucet in my house. As some of you know that listen to the podcast, I recently moved. A month ago, I moved to Venice Beach, California. And it is awesome. I love living in Venice Beach. And my apartment is the shit. I just feel really great. I love living here. And since I've lived here, I've had a leaky faucet. The fucking faucet in the kitchen, just no matter what you do, it'll leak. So I haven't called my landlord about it yet, just because, like, I'm always on some like I'm a man, I can fix it. So I've never fixed a leaky faucet before. I'm not a fucking plumber. I don't know how to plumb. So I was like, I'll do what anybody does about anything, whether it be heart surgery, leaky faucet, or how to play a mandolin. You go to YouTube and watch somebody do it. You watch the tutorial instructional video. So I thought it'd be like something real simple, like I just fucking, I'd need some pliers and need to turn one thing. So this is what stopped me from fixing it myself. I actually saved this video on my screen. Listen to what he says in a second. Hopefully you can hear this.
Top. For this project, you'll need some pipe joint compound.
That's where I stopped.
For this project, you'll need some pipe joint compound, a flathead screwdriver with the end taped up so you don't nick any of the plumbing parts, a regular Phillips head screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, a utility knife, some channel lock pliers, again with tape on the teeth so you don't mar the finish on the screwdriver, with the end tape.
It doesn't matter that he said all that. This is where I stopped.
From getting everywhere.
I stopped
and
here.
Tools from damaging your countertop.
Right here.
For this project, you'll need some pipe joint compound.
Bam. Pipe joint compound. I said, nope. I'm calling the landlord. I'm not, because I thought that if you fix a leaky faucet, maybe all you'd have to do is like tighten one thing. But nah, you got to turn off the water. You got to take a bunch of shit apart. You actually got to do some investigation into what's making it leak. So I'm like, you know, and it's not even a big deal. It's like, I mean, the faucet drips. It's like a one drip for, let me see it. Let's hear it. Let's count it. Let's fucking count this shit the way you count your pulse in one of those blood pressure machines that they used to have at grocery stores. Huh? The thing you put your fucking arm in? Do you even see those anymore? Do they still have those? Is that something that's fallen by the wayside too? Is that the VHS thing? Is that the answering machine? Is that another piece of technology that's gotten fucked by something newer and better? There's something that you can do at your house way easier to check your blood pressure now probably, huh? There's probably some kind of fucking thing that you just touch your wrist and it goes 180/65 or whatever, however blood pressure is measured. I don't know anything about blood pressure, but you know, one of those things has become a relic. Just replaced. The way payphones are getting replaced. The way answering machines have been replaced. The way the external caller ID thing is being replaced. The way that VCRs were replaced by DVD players, were replaced by Blu-ray players, and now are being replaced by movies on demand and Netflix. That's what I'm talking about, people. Shit that becomes obsolete. Did the thing that you see at the grocery store where you put your arm in it and it gives you your blood pressure, has that thing been replaced by some type of other technology? I don't know. I'll never know. None of us will. It's a mystery that can't be solved. Scientists are out there right now in their laboratories, in their lab coats, with their beakers, Bunsen burners, and fucking various types of chemistry supplies, and they can't figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. And that being said, let's see how often my leaky faucet drips. All right, silence. There's one. There's one. All right, I'd say once every 4 seconds. So that's what I had to deal with, and it's like, it's not that big of a deal what I have to deal with. How fucking rich first world does that sound? That's what I have to deal with. Every 4 seconds I hear the sound of a dripping faucet. How awful is that? All you people in Rwanda, I mean, you just don't know what you have over there. You could imagine that. You could live in Venice Beach in a nice apartment with a leaky faucet that leaks once every 4 seconds. Jesus. Nah, but anyway, in all honesty, like I said last week, I have first world problems because I lived in a first world country. So the first world problems things, of course these are first world problems. I live in a first world country. Anyway, it's not a big deal at all, but after a while, especially because my studio area where I do all my music and shit is right next to the kitchen, and when I put on the headphones, I can hear that leaky faucet. Like, it gets annoying after a while, so it's almost like Chinese water torture. Like, the first couple times, it's not a big deal, but after a while, it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. I actually have a big bottle, a bottle of gin sitting on the fucking faucet handle or whatever you call it right now to try to slow it up, and it does help a little bit. Without that, it'd probably drip once every 2 seconds rather than 4. So yeah, those are the problems that I deal with, people. Got a loud ass truck going by. I just can't handle it. My problems are just so unfathomably terrible. I just can't live this life anymore. It's just too rough. All right, I'm done talking about that. What are the other segments I do? I think I skipped Wax's True Hollywood Stories last week. Oh, I forgot to look up this guy's name. Let me find. I'm so good at doing this podcast now that I'm not even gonna stop. I'm not even gonna hit stop. I'm just gonna Google this guy's name right now because I can't remember what his real name is off the top of my head. Larry B. Scott? Larry B. Scott. All right. Wax's True Hollywood Stories, ladies and gentlemen. When I first moved to Hollywood, and when I moved to LA, I literally did move to Hollywood first. I lived in Eastern Hollywood. I lived on Santa Monica and Normandy in Little Armenia. And Little Armenia, like any other like any other town in LA, Koreatown and Little Tokyo being included in that. Any town in LA that says like Little whatever is probably also Little Mexico. You know, pretty much everywhere is Little Mexico. Little Armenia, Little Tokyo, Koreatown. Anywhere you go, it's pretty much Little Mexico. But that being beside the point, I first moved to LA, and one of my boys that I think I've talked about on this show before, my boy T-Rex, who is a comedian. He's been doing comedy for a long time. He's an older gentleman, and he just knows a lot of people, man. Like I've had so many crazy times with him and weird like partying events and like I met Dave Chappelle twice through him. I met like so many like Bob Saget, Dane Cook, Bill Burr, Craig Robinson, all these people I met through him. Anyway, we go out one night. We're in the stereotypical club area of Hollywood, right like Hollywood and Cahuenga. That was literally the corner we were standing on, right by the Popeyes. And it was me and T-Rex and our boy Mark Simmons. That's how he talks. All right, Dan. Mark Simmons. Everything's I can't fucking impersonate. Anyway, it's the three of us. It's that time of night when the clubs all close. You know, it's like 1:55 or somewhere between the area of 1:55 and 2:10. And we're just standing outside kind of looking at girls and just seeing what's going on. And who walks by us, but I guess his name is Larry B. Scott. And if you don't know who Larry B. Scott is, it's not surprising because I wouldn't have known who he was until 2 seconds ago. But if you've ever seen the old movie Revenge of the Nerds, it's an old movie. I mean, I don't know what year it's from, sometime in the 80s, but it's a classic, so a lot of you may have seen it. There's a black dude on there, and he's like a gay black dude, and his name is Lamar. If you've seen the movie, it's a great movie. They do this awesome song where he raps, and they make this whole song. It's fucking epic. But anyway. Okay, I see right here. It's 1984. So we're standing there, and T-Rex knows this guy. He walks by. He's just there hanging out in Hollywood. Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. He still looks like Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. And T-Rex says what's up to him. We all start talking. We actually smoke a little blunt. Lamar has a little, like half blunt, and he lights it up. We take a couple puffs. And we just start talking. And, that was 1984, and this is 2009 or something like that. What's that? 17 years? This is 94. 17 years. Yeah, I was right originally. 17 years after Revenge of the Nerds. We probably talked to the dude for about 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes while we're sitting there on Hollywood Boulevard talking, at least a dozen people walked by and said, Lamar! Yo, what up, Lamar? Or made a quote from the movie and said something about Lamar. So that's 10 minutes. 10 minutes we were sitting there, and that was 17 years ago that movie was made. Hold on one second. So you got to imagine, first of all, I felt bad for him because he was like, it ain't like he was on some like, yo, I'm doing really good. I remember he was hosting an open mic night at a comedy club in the Valley, and it was like a Monday night or something, and he was hosting an open mic night. So if you were starring in movies in the 80s and that's what you're doing now, I would say that's probably not where you wanted to be. But the whole reason I wanted to tell this story is just I found it interesting that while we were standing there, all those people, I mean, Mark Simmons that was with us being one of them, he said what's up Lamar to him too. And he handles it well. He just says what's up to everybody. But you got to imagine, dude, people like him or like Macaulay Culkin after Home Alone, or maybe like the dude who played David Faustino who played Bud Bundy, or fucking best example is Urkel. Like these people become these, like you can't leave your fucking house anywhere without being this guy. Like that guy goes to the grocery store, he goes to the gas station, he goes to the dentist, he goes anywhere, and he's fucking Lamar. Urkel is, I'm sure, 10 times worse. Carlton, 10 times worse. But like, you gotta wonder if these people regret it. I would say Lamar even more because that was just one movie. Like, Urkel probably made a lot of money doing Family Matters. Carlton made a lot of money doing Fresh Prince. Hopefully he got some of the back end. I don't really know how that works, but I don't think Larry B. Scott, is seeing that much Revenge of the Nerds money right now. but he's seeing a lot of the repercussions of that. And maybe he clings on to it. Maybe he holds that dear. Maybe he loves the fact that he did something that people remember him and he is famous. But that's got to get old, man. That was 84. In 1984, he was that character, and we were standing there for 10 minutes, and at least a dozen people walked by and said, "What's up, Lamar?" So that's my Hollywood story this week. I know it's not the craziest story, but I just thought that was something interesting that maybe you guys could think about, how that you don't think about. You know, most people don't think about shit like that, like shit that happens to people like that, and how being famous can affect somebody's life. You know, like you really can't leave your house. I actually, Jesus, I watched this. There's a great YouTube series out right now that Jerry Seinfeld does called "Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee," and the one that he put out the most recently was with Kramer, Michael Richards, and man, I'm not condoning what he did at all, you know, when he was at the Laugh Factory and he was saying the N-word, but you know, that was 2007 or something like that. I don't know when that was. I can't remember. I think it was 2005 or 2007, and you know, since then, I mean, I'm not saying that I feel that bad for him because what he did was bad, and he's, you know, at least if you're going to be a prisoner in your own house, and you're, you know, it's not as bad if you're a multimillionaire, I guess, but you know, the dude is literally a prisoner in his own house, and you know, I mean, imagine he can't go to like Atlanta, he can't walk down the street in Hollywood, you know, somebody would probably punch him in the face, you know. So I just think sometimes with celebrities, especially celebrities like that do weird shit, like somebody like Michael Richards or maybe like OJ probably gets the same kind of thing. Like, it's got to be tough, man. It's got to be tough. All right, I got to pause this for a second. Hold on. I got to make sure this shit's working right. All right, I'm back. The shit's working fine. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Because I'm trying to stick to the fact that my show has segments, my podcast has segments, I'm going to do the call someone and fuck with them segment for this week. I'm going to call my friend Jess Hudac. Jess Hudac is a singer and songwriter and a really good friend of mine. And some stuff's happened to her recently that I just found kind of interesting. So hopefully she answers the phone. She has no idea I'm going to call her. So, you know, this is probably going to be one of the ones where the person doesn't answer. But, oh shit, what am I going to say to her? All right, hopefully she answers. See, this is the problem with this segment. You never know.
Hi, you just called Jess Hudac.
I had to stop it. I'm not going to leave her a voicemail because you never know. Somebody might, some people are like, hi, you reached 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So I don't want to put that out there. Damn, that sucks. I really want to talk to Jess. Jess Hudac lived out in LA for a while. She was actually featured on Platinum Hit, which was a song on a show on the Bravo network that was like a songwriting show. Her and my friend Jackie Tone and my friend Amber Ojeda, all girls that have sang backup for me and all girls that are really good friends of mine, were on that show. The show didn't do too well, but it was cool watching my friends on TV. Anyway, Jess recently had some luck. A song that she recorded took off in Australia. She actually just went gold in Australia, mostly due to the fact that her song became the theme song for X Factor Australia. I can't remember the name of the song because I'm a selfish dickhead that doesn't think about what other people do and only focuses on himself. But no, I wanted to talk to her about that because I just thought that was an interesting story, and it was kind of cool because she was out here for a while doing her thing, and she moved back to New York where she's from, kind of on some like, you know, fuck LA, not fuck show business. She'll always be in doing music, but it just like right after that happened, she kind of just blew up and had all this great stuff happen for her. So you never know, man. It might not be the United States is the place where, you know, you have your success. That's one moral of her story, and another moral of her story is you know, you got to be persistent. You just keep going, man. You don't stop. You know, people. Every time somebody emails me questions, not every time, but the most common question I get is, you know, advice for starting in the music game, or like, you know, I'm 19. I want to do music for a living. I don't want a job. Blah blah blah. If you you'll know. If you get to 22 and you're not fucking Lady Gaga yet, so you just stop playing your drum set. It just wasn't meant to be. That's just not your profession. That's not what you're gonna do. You'll know. If you're still hanging around, going for the dream years and years later, all that persistence might pay off for you, or maybe it won't. Maybe that lifestyle would. Maybe everything will get flushed down the toilet just like a... Oh, God. I can't get that image out of my head of that fucking thing that got flushed down the toilet. I can't get the image out of my head. I'm sorry. This has turned into a really bad podcast. This is the worst podcast I've done so far. This is number 7. 7 is a lucky number. I guess that I'm just the opposite of that. Maybe episode 13 will just be this fucking golden, happy episode full of sunshine and tears of joy. Maybe I got my numbers mixed up. Anyway, let's get into some questions here. First of all, let me give some shout outs. Shout out to Alex from Poland, Tomi from Finland, Raul Justice, which if that's your real name, Raul Justice, that's a fucking awesome name. I think that's just your real name. Like if your name is Raul Justice, you need to get into some kind of showbiz thing. I mean, that's a character name. That's like the cop in East LA that just and no sheriff's in town. It's saying, you know what I mean? Like the fucking barrio sheriff that just comes fucks everybody up. Raul Justice. Shout out to you, Raul. Nate. Shout out to Nate for giving me the insomnia advice. Shout out to Olivia for the suggestions. Bert, the aspiring dentist. Nick from Boston. Chris H from the UK. Javier from Fresno. Shoppy the Mimi boy. Luciano, Ryan T, Stephen A from the UK, Ben K, Yahira, Jesse C, Eli from Oklahoma, Teddy Lee, Mujo from Germany, Kendrick from Atlanta, and William L. To all those people, I appreciate the props. I appreciate the email. If you want to email me, beatsforwax@gmail.com, beatsforwax@gmail.com. To all those people, I either will not be getting to your question today, or I just appreciate your email. Shout out to y'all. All right, let's get to some questions. This one's from Andrew. Hey, Wax, what's up? I'm Andrew. I'm 19 years old, and I've been a big fan of your music for a few years now. Over the years, I've noticed that you put the most random, hilarious tags on your videos. How do you come up with this shit? Are they things that you wrote down when you were fucked up, or do you think of that shit on the spot? Just wondering, man. Hope you answer this on the podcast. Thanks, bro. Keep doing your thing and making dope tracks. Well, I appreciate that, Andrew. I appreciate the props. As far as the YouTube tags, I don't know what made me start doing that. Me and my brother, I guess, started doing that a long time ago. And when we started, it was just stupid. It was really, really undetailed. It might just say like elephant piss or something like that. But now it's like, if you see any one of my videos, they don't show the actual tags on YouTube now. So I just put them into the description section. I've had trouble saying the description section ever since I've been doing YouTube. But yeah, I just think of them when I upload the video. I write the title, I write the description, and I just think of it right there. And sometimes I'm like, why do I do this every time? Because it takes a second. Because I guess they got to be good. I guess they're funny. I don't know. It's pretty random. I mean, say what you will about it, but you can't say that it's not original. I definitely didn't bite that style. All right, thanks, Andrew. All right, this one's from Cooper C. Hey, Wax. First off, there's a lot of Cooper C. Hey, Wax. First, God, I just had my brain. See, today's weird, man. Today's weird. My brain. I felt like my brain spun around in my head like the chick from Poltergeist. Not my head, just the brain spun around. Cooper C. Hey, Wax. First of all, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of your music and your podcast. Thanks, man. I was just wondering who was the most interesting person you have ever met. It doesn't matter if they're famous or not. I was also wondering if you are planning on ever going to have a show in Michigan. Yes, I definitely will have a show in Michigan. I did Detroit this year, bro. I was at the shelter. This year. I was at, what's that fucking place called? PJ's Lager House recently. I was at, I played all over Detroit, man. I played at the Magic Stick. I played at Alvin's. Played the shelter multiple times. Where was you at, Coop? Man, that sounds like I have like a When I beat on this table, it sounds like I have like a wine glasses and so like picture like a big ass dining room table. That's what I'm beating on right there. My enormous dining room table that I have my lover sit on the opposite end 15 feet away. What? See, I'm telling you, man, I'm going crazy. If talking to yourself out loud, like I'm fucking doing right now, means you're crazy, I'm beyond crazy. Because I say everything out loud to myself. This one's from Brian S. Hey Wax, love the podcast. Do you listen to any of the music artists coming out of Strange Music Inc.? Parentheses, Tech Nine's label. Actually I don't, and it's not because I don't like them. It's just because I never have. So send me a link or something. Send me a link to some good shit. I definitely like Tech Nine. I don't know his stuff very well, but like when I see him he was on like one of those BET ciphers or something. He fucking murdered that shit. So send me some links, man. If you send me something good, I should watch. This one's from Max B. Hey Wax, just want to start off by saying I'm a huge fan and have been for years. I've shown your videos and music to my friends and got a bunch of them hooked as I am. My question for you, thanks man. My question for you is, how do you deal with haters? Would love to hear your response on your podcast. P.S. How tall are you? I'm 6'0". Max, how do you deal with haters? The most rampant genre of hating right now in the world is hating on the internet, and the reason that is because people hide behind anonymity. You can say anything you want. I mean, if you go to YouTube, comments are like a hotbed of honesty. Whether it be sexual stuff, whether it be super racist stuff, YouTube is just, like I said, a hotbed for honesty, and some people just want to hate, and I think the best thing that you can do is ignore it. You know, you can't let them get you down. Sometimes it's actually, maybe you shouldn't ignore it all the time. Constructive hating can actually be positive. You know, you realize stuff about yourself that you don't see when you're looking from the inside out. You know, and from the outside in, you can see a lot of stuff about yourself that might make you improve yourself. You know. Jesus. All right, I'm gonna edit that out. Actually, I'm not gonna edit that out. Fuck you. Fuck who? Who am I talking to? See? Jesus. All right. Logan I. As a musician, how do you feel about people illegally downloading music, including your own music? Would you rather people listen to you even if that means they're getting your music illegally, or would you rather less people have your music with everyone paying for it? I would rather have people listen to it and get it illegally, man. Let's face facts. In this day and age, music is just becoming free, dude. Like a lot of people I know, you know, like this is, and I think I've said this before on the podcast. But when somebody tells you to buy an album, they say you should buy it, support the artist. Now, just by that state, it's like it used to be buy it because you want it, because you want the music. Now buying an album has actually become an act of charity. Support the artist. That's like PBS or something giving a donation, you know? It's more like a donation, and your CD is just like the fucking tote bag that comes with your donation, you know? So, you know, people are gonna get your music for free, man. And yes, you would rather have them listen to it, because if they listen to it, first of all, it's nice to have people listen to your music. Second of all, if you make good music, maybe it'll actually affect their lives in a positive way. Third of all, if you want to make some money, that person who got your music, you know, what am I trying to say here? They might buy a concert ticket. They might buy your next album. They might buy a T-shirt that you're selling on your website. Anyway, I don't know why I'm so slow today, but I don't really give a shit about people downloading music illegally. You got to deal with it, man. You can't beat the pirates these days. The internet's just too easy, man. Like, you know, you can Google any album, and on the first page you could probably get it for free. And the younger that people are, the better they are at doing that, because they're so far ahead of, like, I mean, dude, the people in the music industry are old, man. They're way behind. It's one of the slowest moving industries. Like, it's crazy how different the music industry standard world is than the internet world. Like, a viral thing online has a 3-day shelf life, a week tops, where They still play that J. Cole workout song on the hit radio station. I can't. How is that song still a hit? How long? I feel like that song's been a hit for fucking 5 years. Like how long? Like the shelf life on the radio is so long. It takes so long to get there, and it's just that's the way these old school things work. You know, it takes 2 months just to get the paperwork right. So you know, they're behind, and the kids are way ahead of them. They're gonna get all that shit for free. You know, if fucking Nas comes out first week, sells 140,000 copies, I think that was the number that was looked at as good. You know, if this was one of his albums in the 90s, that would be looked at as terrible. That would not be a good showing as far as numbers are concerned. You know, 140,000 times, you know, $10, that's 1.4 million. I mean, I mean, you know, he's going to make more, but that's a huge loss compared to what they made marketing the album, creating the album, paying Nas. Blah-bitty, blah-bitty, blah. What's the next question? Who sent that question? Oh, man, I lost my place here. That was Logan. Thanks, Logan, for sending that question. This one is from Alex from San Diego. Hey Wax, before I ask this question, I just wanted to say that I've been listening to your music for a little over a year and loved everything I've heard so far. Keep the music and podcasts coming. They brighten up my day. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Alex. That's fucking great, man. That makes me feel good inside. My question is, how does your songwriting process go? How do you prepare for writing a song? Do you have any special rituals or thing that you do to get pumped to write songs? Or does everything flow organically when you sit down and start writing? I produce using Ableton, and I'm having a creative block for a long period of time. These are all music questions today. No like relationship advice questions today this week really, which is fine. I guess I'm not an expert on. Why would you ask me relationship advice questions? I don't. I'm terrible with my history is terrible with that. But I'm pretty good at the music thing, and I will tell you this, Alex from San Diego, the songwriting process for me personally never works the same way every time. Like sometimes shit'll just come to me. Like I remember I did that song Dispensary Girl, and I went to I was trying to work, and I was in a creative block kind of situation, probably just like you, and I went to the dispensary, and I met this girl. And I was just kind of flabbergasted by her, and I came up with the whole hook and melody just in my head on the way home, walking home from there. Other times I'll fucking try to beat my head against the wall with an instrumental for a long time, and then eventually I'll just like force it out. You know what I mean? That happens sometimes. I don't have any special rules. I don't have any rituals. I don't have anything like that. I will say that I usually make a lot of stuff just by myself. I just kind of shut myself in like a caveman mode, like I like to say. But I do collaborate. Last night Davey was here. I got a lot of friends I work with. EOM, my brother, Dum. Got tons of. So my point being, I don't have any, you know, rituals or anything like that. Nah. And no, it doesn't always flow. I get creative block. Writer's block all the fucking time, man. Writing songs can be the most difficult thing in the world, or it can be the easiest thing in the world, man. Just depending on what the song is and what day it is. Like, it can be so. Writing songs can be so fucking difficult and so fucking easy. Like, it's really weird, man. It's really weird. You just gotta. I don't know, man. Some people do have rituals. I've seen some people. Some people have to do the same thing. It's just like the way that people shoot free throws when they do all that little bullshit before they shoot a free throw. Some people do that when they walk into a studio. Like I know this one, I've never met her, but this big songwriter named Esther Dean wrote tons of Rihanna's hits. She co-wrote Firework with Katy Perry and shit. But when she goes into a studio, she has like a little foot bath she brings. She has like a hot foot bath, and she just like lays back and relaxes with a foot bath and just fucking starts belting out melodies. Alright, that's enough about that. That was probably a shitty answer, Alex, and I apologize, but since you're from San Diego, I don't apologize that bad, because that's a great place to live, so I don't feel bad for you with your first world problems about writing songs either. Just kidding, Alex. I got two emails that are pretty similar. One from Rashad in Chicago, who goes by Arsenault. Shout out to you. And I got one from White Phillip in Dallas, Texas. They're kind of similar. Rashad is in Chicago, and he's 19, and he's trying to do music, and he's trying to move to LA. Wait, I'm sorry, White Phillip in Dallas. He was actually not. That's a different guy. I'm talking about Joey D from Canada and Rashad from Chicago. Basically, are both asking about one to move to LA and one to move to Vancouver from Winnipeg. Winnipeg is right above North Dakota. Vancouver is right above Seattle, Washington. So that's a pretty far trip. But they're both asking questions because I'm from the East Coast. I moved across the country, and they're asking advice about moving across the country and should they do it and blah blah blah. And in Rashad's case, he lives in a neighborhood that's pretty fucked up in Chicago, and I know Chicago is super fucked up right now, Jesus. But he lives in kind of like a gang type of area, and he has an aunt that lives out here, actually in Venice. So to you, Rashad, I think you got to get out of there, man. 19, man. A lot of people live in neighborhoods that like you, where it seems that you live. Oh, you're actually 22. I'm sorry. You said at 19 you had an office job. But you're 22 now, and you've been writing music for 12 years. You have a small fan base that's growing faster than you thought it would, but you wanted some advice. I would do it, man. Get out of that area. You don't want to be there, man. Get out here, do something positive with your life. I'm telling you, man. I know from experience that Los Angeles has a lot of opportunity here, man. If you're good at what you do, I didn't see any of your stuff. You didn't have any links or anything like that. But if you're good at what you do, you'll get somewhere out here. Now Joey is in a different situation. I'll just read this one. Hey Wax, my name's Joey and I've been a fan of yours since New Crack was released. I bumped your music and I bought a bunch of your stuff. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. On to my question. I live in Winnipeg and I'm 23 years old. My best friend and his girlfriend are moving out to BC next month to live with a mutual friend. We had planned on moving out, blah, 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 blah. He's moving out there and he's going to work in retail. And he says, I'm struggling to say yes because I don't know how I'd do so far from home. I've never moved and all my friends and family are here. Any advice on what I should do since you moved across the continent from your family? I'd love to have your feedback either on the podcast or just in an email. Well, Joey, in Rashad's case, he kind of had a reason to move out here. He was, LA is a good place for a musician to try to make it. In your case, you're kind of just, it seems that you're just kind of moving because it'd be interesting. And then, I would say that that's probably true, and maybe you should do it just to see what happens. You only live once, Jesus Christ. They fucked up you only live once. Now you can't say you only live once is a great fucking statement. It's applicable in many times, and now every time I fucking say it or hear it, you fucking think YOLO, and it fucks the whole thing up. What was the other thing they fucked up like that? I'm not going to talk about what the other thing is because it's probably offensive, but there was a joke my boy Mark Simmons has where he was talking about the rainbow, and when he was a little kid, he used to draw a house with the sun and a rainbow, and he's like, he said the gay people, they already got pink, now they want every color. Fucking stupid, man. But that's kind of offensive. I don't know. But anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Where did that even come from? Oh, YOLO. You really do only live once. That really is a fucking statement that means something. And maybe you should do it just to see what happens. And if you miss your friends and family like you're worried about, move the fuck back, I miss my friends and family out here a lot. I have a lot of friends out here now. And I'd still have a lot of friends back in Maryland. And my family is what I miss the most. My parents and my sister and my nephew, those are what I miss the most. But sometimes it depends. You got to live your own life, man. For me, it was a good decision. I know a lot of people that have come out here and moved the fuck back. I know people that have moved way less far than coast to coast and just haven't been able to handle being away from their parents and stuff like that. Some people have that. Some people's families are just different. I don't know. For me, I just wanted to do the shit. I love LA. How could you not love Southern California? I don't even see how you could not live here. If there's an option to live in Southern California, why would you live anywhere else? I mean, ever since it's always all the cool shit comes from here. Fucking skateboarding, surfing, punk rock, fucking certain types of fucking Dr. Dre. Fucking Christ, man. I mean, it's fucking beautiful every day. That's why it's so expensive to live here. It's just because it's fucking awesome. I mean, why wouldn't... Rashad, why do you live in Chicago, man? Get out of Chicago. I love Chicago. That sounded bad. But Chicago right now is like... He says he lives in a bad neighborhood with gangs and shit. That's like there's like fucking 120 murders every weekend in Chicago. And then you get fucking murdered and you're fucking buried in the snow? I mean, dude, just fucking move to Venice. Rashad, there's no fucking question, no decision to even be made. Get the fuck out here, man. Caleb. Caleb. What's good, Wax? My name is Caleb and I'm from Ohio. Big ups on your music. I appreciate that, man. You inspired me to get into the hip-hop genre. Anyway, bad language doesn't offend me. I guess not if you listen to me. But it does offend a lot of people. And I like to keep my rhymes clean, so they can be enjoyed by anyone and not be offended. I try to just focus on comedy and wordplay. Do you think there is a market for clean rappers? Everyone I listen to has bad language and there are no clean rappers that I have found. Let me know your thoughts. Mad love. Well, the clean rapper that made it pretty far was Will Smith. Will Smith made it pretty fucking far as a clean rapper. Although Will Smith did say one of the most fucked up lines, actually. And at the time, I don't think there was outrage for it. But if you listen to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, their first hit was called Parents Just Don't Understand. Look it up on YouTube. Listen to it. It's about his parents leaving town. And he basically, he uses their awesome car. And he goes and picks up this chick. And everything goes wrong. Take it from me. Parents just don't understand. And he talks about this girl that he picks up when he's in his parents' car, perpetrating like he's talking on the car phone, another relic of the past, by the way. And at the end of the song, the girl he picks up, he says, "Come to find out, the girl was a 12-year-old runaway." 12. He said that the girl he picked up that looked all good, you should have seen this girl's bodily dimensions. I honk my horn just to get her attention. I mean, he's talking about this girl, and then he admits later in the song that she is 12 years old. So if that's, I don't give a fuck if you say fucking shit. That is way dirtier to me. Anyway, is there a market for clean rappers? I think so. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, obviously the radio, even though the radio now is just, I'll beat the pussy up is one. Pop that pussy for me. There's a lot of that, you know. Rosanna Freaky. She be trying to fuck all day. What's my motherfucking name? I don't know. I feel like I can't even write it. I feel like I get trapped in that area a lot, man. I write a lot of offensive stuff, and my stuff tends to sit right on the line, like the video for Rosanna. I can't believe they've been playing it on MTV, but you know, there's no sex in it. Just that's your dirty mind. It's not the video. There's no sex in the video. It's your fault for thinking it was sex. And I remember I had Dispensary Girl, and it was like just over the limit of like what you could and couldn't talk about. My brother's calling me. Hold up. Yo. Hello? Hello? He must have pocket dialed me. Yeah, I don't know. Clean rhymes. Leanne rhymes. I'd say do your thing, man. You know what? The best thing I can say to you is this. If you don't see anybody doing it, that means that lane is wide open. So if you want to be a clean rapper and you're like, oh, well, there's no real clean rappers out, that's a really good thing. That lane is wide open, and you should just get in that lane and take it over, son. Hold on one second. What's going on right here? Okay, cool. Man, this is a weird podcast today. I feel like I'm just really slow. Like I said, my brain, it just feels like a sponge, and somebody's inside there squeezing the knowledge out. So the knowledge is what the fuck? What does that mean? This one's from Katarina. Hi, Wax. It's Katarina again. You've already answered my questions in one of your previous podcasts, and I was kind of hoping you would answer this one as well. I'm sure that everyone who listens to your music has their favorite Wax song, so I was wondering, does Wax have his favorite Wax song? Or is it just too hard to pick from one after all they required time, passion, effort? I personally feel that Red may be your most honest one. So that is one of my personal favorites along with It's All Love and Need, because I really do enjoy any form of art that has a good message, and those two songs really do have that. Also, one more thing. I'm kind of going through a rough period right now regarding my college education, and I've been stressed out, and your music is actually one of the few things that can take the stress away, so thank you for being awesome. And I've seen someone complaining about these podcasts being too long, and I would just like to say fuck them. Haha. I enjoy listening to you ramble for an hour. That's love from Croatia. Well, I appreciate that, Katarina. I appreciate you backing me up, but I wouldn't be, it's hard to listen to somebody just talk for an hour. I'm surprised that so many people can listen to it too. But I get 50% of people telling me make it shorter, and 50% of people telling me to make it 2 hours or 3 hours. So I'm just gonna kind of keep it at like an hour. I think that's like a standard podcast is like an hour, even though I'm probably already over that right now, and most of you have already hit stop or moved this to trash and hit empty. My favorite of my own songs. Yes, I do have my favorites of my own songs. Doing Damage is one of them. Everything is one of them. Don't Need is one of them. Dispensary Girl is one of my favorite songs. Two Wheels is probably my favorite song I've ever done. That's probably my favorite song. I really like that song. I don't know why. But what other songs do I have? Pay Cut that me and my brother did. That the bridge on that song is probably my favorite musical thing that I've done. I really like that. I guess I have to look at my fucking... I don't really sit here and listen to my own music. I have to look at the track list. But I can sit... The ones that I like, the fucking song I did last night, Continue. The songs that are my favorite, I judge that by how many times I listen to it right after I make it. Like sometimes I'm done with something and I'm kind of done with it. Like I put it out there and I like it, but I don't need to listen to it again after working on it for a week or whatever. But sometimes I just sit there and I just drink a couple beers and I dance in my studio or whatever. Limousine, I really like Limousine. Limousine is a song I really like. That's a song that I did that I really like. But I'd say those. Don't Need, Old Ways. Wax, when you take a fucking... All right, I'm only reading a couple more of these and I'm done, man. I can't... my brain feels like fucking... It feels like somebody's just in there with a fucking drill, and wherever the part of my brain that puts words together in a coherent way, they're just fucking drilling at it and coming in and out. So every once in a while, I don't even know. I should edit that out, but I'm not going to. Wax, this is from David C. Can you talk about playing the guitar while rapping? I haven't seen too many people do that, especially with the rhyme schemes and delivery that you always bring. God, I feel like all these questions this week are like super praise oriented. I think I probably only picked the questions that are like just praise of me, but it's not like that. I just didn't really get any like regular life questions this week. It's all music stuff. For all I know, mad people do it, but I never saw it. Did that take extra practice? Do you know any other artists that do that? Well, Dave C., when I was in a band when I was younger, the whole playing guitar and rapping at the same time, that was like my thing. That was like the thing that I did, and yes, I practiced a lot to do that. And yes, there are other people that do that. The one that comes to mind off the top of my head is G Love from G Love and Special Sauce, and he's really, really good at it. Like he freestyles off the dome while doing his chord changes, and fucking sounds great. Thanks, Dave C. This one, I don't think the person put their name on it. It's a series of short questions. Do you and Herbal T have another brother? No. What are some artists that EOM produces for? Me, Dumbfounded, K Prime, the Stoop Kids, Intellect, Random, Herbal T. I can't. If you could pick three, who would be your favorite rappers nowadays? I don't know. Question 4. I really like the complete Wax and EOM album. Will there be a Liquid Courage 2? I don't know. It probably wouldn't be called Liquid Courage 2, but there might be another Wax and EOM album. I hope so. Will there any guest appearances on Continue besides DFD, Herbal T, and the usuals? Probably not. Besides Kanye and Jay-Z, who I did a song with last night, we're actually doing a full double album together tomorrow. Besides that, no. It's just going to be Herbal T and DFD. This isn't so much a question, but a friendly request from a long time far back when you were in the Centra. I was just wondering if you could make a sequel to one of my favorite songs. I think you should make The Adventures of Larry and Tina 2, or A Mary 2, sent from my iPad. Well, that's a great suggestion, and I'll take that into account. Thanks, person that didn't leave their name, or that probably did leave their name, and I somehow don't see it. All right, fucking Christ. This is the last one. Obviously this is fake. By the way, Zach from Canada, who sent me the email last week about like the girl who had the dead dog on the bus, proven to be fake. That's a story that's like going around the internet. So whoever sent that, who probably is the same person who sent this one I'm about to read, but I laughed out loud when I read this, so I decided I'm going to read it. This is going to be the last thing. It's obviously fake because the email is from Joe and it says, "Yo Wax, question from Jan." So this is my problem. My name is Jan and I'm really confused. Okay, so a while ago, I was masturbating with an egg and I was just about to orgasm when all of a sudden my vag just like sucked it up. It was like a vacuum. Not just a regular vacuum. My vag is a Dyson. Anyway, I was so scared and spent the rest of the night trying to queef out that egg, but it, capital letters, would not come out. So the other day I was playing basketball in the gym and the egg fell out into my underwear. I was too afraid to take it out and people probably thought I was growing a schlong or something. So I didn't take it out of my underwear until I got home and the effing egg was hard boiled. That means all capitals. My vagina is not only a Dyson, but a pot of boiling water. It hard boiled an egg. I'm not done. So I put it in the fridge because I didn't know what else to do. And a couple hours later, my dad was eating an egg salad sandwich. Do you recommend telling my dad? Do you have any pals that had this problem before? What is your take on egg salad sandwiches? Are you into that kind of thing? Thanks, Wax. Really huge of that song where Tina the girl says, saw the film called Young Cum Guzzler, stars in the film called Young Cum Guzzler. Anyways, I feel like you're the type of guy who could really help me out with this problem. Thanks again, Wax. I don't know. I just wanted to read that. I just thought that was funny. So good job to you, Joe F. As far as me having people that had that problem before, I know plenty of people who've had that problem before. On a serious note, I don't really like egg salad sandwiches. I do like chicken salad sandwiches and tuna salad sandwiches much better. Something about buying an egg salad sandwich at the store is weird to me, man. Like, I don't know. All the fucking mayonnaise and the eggs, like all this stuff that could go bad really easily, and you don't know how long it's been sitting there. I think the things at 7-Eleven when it says like the expiration date, I think they just fucking switch it. I think they just take the sticker off the next day and just make it and just fucking give it another week. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get off of here now, y'all. Thanks for listening to this shit. I really appreciate it. My name is Wax. That was podcast episode 7. Be safe out there.